Welcome to the Habitats Trust Grants application video, where we will walk you through the application form and show you how to easily fill the form, clearing all your doubts. First, you need to register yourself on the application portal at www.thehabitatstrust.org/grants. You can do so by clicking on the Apply Now button on the bottom left of the screen and providing your details, including name of the organization/individual, flagship program location, where are your key projects located, flagship species conserved, what key species do you work on, your mobile number, your email address, and lastly, the grant category you wish to apply for. You're now registered on the application portal and can begin writing your application. In future, you can log into your account by clicking on the My Account tab on the top right of the website. As you begin your application, we would strongly recommend reading the grant guidelines through the button provided on the top left. You may choose to draft your application offline. To assist you with this, we have provided downloadable sample forms for organizations and individuals in the top bar. Please note, all fields marked with an asterisk are mandatory. Page 1. On the first page of the form, you are required to provide basic information pertaining to your organization and relevant contact information. Project title. In this section, please provide the title of your proposed project in less than 10 words. Section 1. If you're applying as an organization, please select organization under applicant type. If you're an individual, please choose the individual option. Select the grant category you wish to apply for. Individuals may only apply for Conservation Hero Grant. For organizations, please input whether you are a private or government affiliated institution. Section 2. In this section, please provide the contact information of the representative filling the application form, who will be the primary point of contact for application-related communication. Section 3. Check the box undertaking that the information provided in your application is true and correct to your knowledge. Section 4. If you're applying as an organization, in this section, you're required to provide the mission objectives and date of establishment of your organization as described in your institutional documents. Total funding received and annual expenditure, including field activities, should be in line with your audited accounts for the previous financial year. At the bottom of the section, please list the key personnel of your organization along with their qualifications and a brief profile. You can provide additional information by clicking the green Add More button on the side. Similarly, in this section, individual applicants should begin by providing their profile and official qualifications, as well as a synopsis of their previous work. At the bottom of the section, please provide a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3 recommendations. These may be from mentors, advisors, or partners that are informed about your work in the past. Here, please provide an excerpt from the recommendation letter. The complete letter can be uploaded under Section 9 on page 4 of the form. Moving forward, the remainder of the section is identical for both organizations and individuals. You would need to provide your years of experience in the field based on the actual duration that you have been working on ground, formally or informally. Next, please list the target species or habitats that you have covered under your existing or past projects. You may also provide links for up to 5 important publications that have been released by your organization or by you as an individual. You have now completed the first page of your application. Please click the Save and Continue button to ensure that your work is saved and continue on with your application. You can return to the previous pages to edit your information by clicking the Back button. But please be sure to click the Save and Continue button anytime you update your form to ensure your information is saved. We now come to page 2. This page captures all the key details about your proposed project. Please keep ample time to complete this page to ensure the best representation of your application. Section 5. Start with a brief summary of your proposed project, focusing on the statement of need and listing out the expected outcomes. Next, please detail the context and problem statement for your proposed project. This would be a justification of your proposal taking into account the on-ground reality and existing conservation efforts in your target location. Under objectives, please list, preferably in bullet points, the expected objectives of your project. The project description section, where you may provide up to 500 words, should provide a complete overview of the proposed project. Here, please fill all details pertaining to the project, including a descriptive problem statement, detailed list of activities towards achieving your expected objectives, and the outcomes or conservation impact that you expect to create through the proposed work. Now we come to the expected conservation impact section, where you must provide details of the measurable impact you expect to see on ground as a result of your project, particularly in the context of securing the target habitat or endangered fauna and flora, and in relation to the key stakeholders present in the area. In the next section, please list a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 6 key indicators that you will be using to monitor your progress. These should be quantifiable indicators that will be tracked regularly through the 2-year project period. We believe that community participation is key to the long-term success of conservation efforts. Here, we would like to understand how your proposed project will engage the local stakeholders in and around your target area in order to achieve your project's objectives. Next, please list the endangered flora and fauna that you wish to protect through your proposed project, including the vernacular or common names of the species, its scientific names, and the type of species as related to its taxonomy. You may list a maximum of 5 species here. Now please provide the exact location of your project, including its coordinates, which you may find on Google Earth, along with the map, which can be uploaded as a JPEG/PNG image under 2 MB. Then, to provide a more detailed understanding of the importance of your project location, please describe the type of habitat and its ecological significance, the kind of terrain, and key features like water sources, exotic or invasive species in the area, and effect they have on indigenous flora and fauna, and most importantly, endangered species found in the project location. The key to a successful project is a well-defined and pragmatic activity plan. Here, please list in bullet points the activities you propose to carry out in each quarter of the project period. It is important to describe your activities in great detail and with numeric targets where possible. As the grant is now for a duration of 2 years, you will have a total of 8 quarters, 4 in year 1, that is 2022, and another 4 in year 2, that is 2023. In the project duration section, please describe the complete duration of the project, including past activities and future plans towards fully achieving all project objectives. This duration may be longer than the grant period of 2 years. Under grant duration, please list the intended start date and end date of the work that will be carried out under the grant. Due to the seasonal nature of some projects, they may need to be conducted on a timeline that does not align with the calendar year. However, projects must begin within the first 6 months of 2022. If your project does not fall under the calendar year, that is initiating on 1st January 2022, please provide a justification under the project duration detailed above. Next, please select whether this is a fresh project or a scale-up of pre-existing efforts. Here, please detail past that has been carried out on the target species or in the project landscape with scientific references or baseline data where possible. If there are any institutions or organizations such as NGOs, government agencies, community institutions, or corporate partners associated with the project, please provide the names of such institutions along with the contact details of a representative. Next, please list the key personnel who will be carrying out the proposed project along with their designation within the institution or as defined under the project, their qualifications, email address, and a brief profile. Section 6. Please provide 3 references who are familiar with your work in the field along with the name of their organization and the contact details of the person who's attesting your work. We may reach out to these references as part of the evaluation process. Section 7. If the proposed project requires permits, authorization, and licenses from any government body, please provide details on such permissions and the current status. You have reached the end of page 2. Please remember to click on Save and Continue with Application button so you do not lose your information. We now come to page 3, section 8. A descriptive budget is essential for a complete project evaluation. Please ensure that your budget is detailed and associated costs for all activities listed on page 2 are covered here. If any of the budget heads are not applicable to your project, please check the box provided. To add fields under any budget head, please click the green Addition button provided alongside each budget head. We start with personnel costs. Here, please include salaries, insurance, and provident fund in the costing. Please mention if the personnel are engaged part-time or full-time with the project. Honorariums and consultancy fees should also be listed here. Projects with majority spending directed towards activity costs are preferred, so please be sure to list out all costs towards the activities carried out under the project here. Next, please list all equipment including phones, cameras, laptops, etc. and other fixed assets that you wish to procure under the proposed project in the equipment costs. Under travel costs, please list both local travel for the project team as well as travel of the head office team to the project site. This will also include any travel carried out for monitoring and reporting. Communication costs will include monthly mobile expenses, couriers, reporting costs, and any other costs incurred towards communication for monitoring and coordination of the project. Administrative costs cover your organizational overheads, rent, electricity, bank charges, audit fees, etc. that would be incurred during the project period only. All the costs provided in the budget above will be automatically calculated and summed to give a final cost for each budget head, as well as the grand total of your proposed project. If your budget includes expenditure on fixed assets, please let us know how project personnel and other stakeholders will be trained on use of the equipment and how this equipment will be used post the grant duration. Next, we come to the funding schedule. We do not release the grant in lump sum. The grant is dispatched in quarterly increments as per reports provided. In this table, please list the grant amount required in each of the 8 project quarters. Please note that the grant total must match the grant total calculated in the budget table. You will not be allowed to move forward with your application unless these figures are the same. Finally, please provide the total project budget, including funding from other sources. Here, please list the applicant's own contribution and funding received from the government. Under the Others column, please list funds received from NGOs or corporates. The Habitats Trust column will be autofilled based on the information provided in the budget table. Now save and continue with the application. We now come to page 4. This is the final page of the form, but one that can be troublesome if instructions are not followed. Section 9. In this section, applicants are required to provide all relevant documents that are needed to evaluate their governance and eligibility for the grant. All documents provided must be under the maximum size limit as stated against each field. Free online document compression tools can be used to ensure your uploads are not rejected. First, please upload a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 4 images of your target species or habitat. These images must be in either JPEG or PNG format and under 2 MB in size. Next, for organizations, please upload the organization's registration certificate, memorandum of association or bylaws, 12A certificate, ATG certificate / section 3512, PAN card, and latest income tax return. If you're registered under FCRA, please provide your FCRA certificate. All these documents must be in either PDF, /doc, /JPEG, /PNG format and under 2 MB. You would also need to upload the organization's most recent financially audited accounts. This document can be up to 10 MB. Optionally, you may upload your annual report. This file too must be under 10 MB. For individuals in this section, please provide your profile including an image of yourself. The profile should be under 500 words, as well as your PAN card and latest income tax returns. Along with this, you would also need to provide a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 3 recommendation letters. These can be the same as listed on page 1, but must be on the official letterhead or signed off by the person attesting your work. All these documents must be in PDF/doc/JPEG/PNG format and under 2 MB. Please provide any media coverage available of your past work. You can share links in the text box or upload up to 4 images. The final step of the application process is the declaration form. Declaration forms for both organizations and individuals can be downloaded from the top bar of the application form page. These must be printed out, signed by hand, and then uploaded in PDF/JPEG format under 2 MB. Congratulations! You have completed your application form for the Habitats Trust Grants 2021. If you would like to leave a message for the Habitats Trust Grants team before submitting your application form, you may do so here. Once you have reviewed your proposal and are ready to submit your application, you may download a print-friendly version of your form from the top bar. Next, please click the green Submit Application button at the bottom right of the page. Please note that once your application form has been submitted, you will not be able to edit or make any changes to your application. We hope this video has been helpful in guiding you through the grants application process. If you still have any queries, please reach out to us on our helpline numbers 88264 88223/88993 or over email at thehabitatstrust@hcl.com. On behalf of the Habitats Trust Grants team, we thank you for your application and wish you luck.